Astrid, so you are the founder of Thryve Partners. Tell us about what you guys do in maybe simple language.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yes. So we're a digital marketing agency and we help all sorts of clients grow their business through digital marketing. Digital marketing includes search engine advertisements, for example, on Google or Bing or other platforms such as Facebook and LinkedIn, but also in optimizing your website, your creative, search engine optimization, and social media, for example.
I can see you have a very interesting career path. You started your career in modeling, then had some exposure to financial services, and afterwards you started your marketing agency based out of Dubai and mostly focused on the fitness commerce. So what triggered you to start building your company in this segment?
Good question, indeed. I didn't take a very conventional path in my career. I've tried a lot of different things, and I feel like I can bring everything together in what I'm doing now. So I always had a love for numbers, math and calculations, and in marketing, actually, it's all about that. That's what we look at every single day. How do we get the best numbers? What do the numbers tell us about our campaigns that we're running? And focusing specifically on the fitness and health niche. Obviously, this is a passion of mine and something I picked up during my modeling career and has stayed with me. And when I feel, healthy, I can perform the best, and I just want that for other people as well. So I love supporting this niche.
So yeah, that's a pretty interesting story and also backed by numbers. So after you started, how did you get your first client? Because again, that's the most challenging part for any business, getting the first client.
Right. So I think I actually accidentally got my first clients before I went into business. I was just helping people in my network since I had experimented a bit myself with running e-commerce shops and doing marketing for that. And then I decided to help also a friend of mine who is a psychologist, and I helped her to get more clients online.
So you started working with a psychologist for her business, but ideally, who is your main client and what values you normally try to provide to your client?
Yeah, so our client is still definitely in the health and fitness niche. That also includes mental health. And for some clients, that means they're in e-commerce, for example, selling fitness supplements. And for some clients, that means that they are trying to help more people. So then we help them generate more leads. The values that we're trying to bring to them is to establish trust around their brands, whether it's a lead generation client or an e-commerce client, because that is one of the biggest challenges online, and especially in this niche.
Right, makes sense. So in terms of growth, I think you have been in the market for some time and you are actually doing well as well. So what are the growth strategy that you are following right now? And as it's almost a new year, so what's there for the 2022? What are the new plans and the strategies you are bringing in?
Yeah, we're expanding to a couple other niches. So we're doing B2B lead generation more and more. So that includes professional services like accounting firms or law firms, financial services. And we're also expanding to the software and IT market. The software technology startup space is just booming right now, and we want to put our experience and knowledge to work in that area as well and help them grow.
Another pretty important part for the newcomers or also for any other business that when you are doing your business, you always need to think about your own customer acquisition strategy as well, right? So in your case, what tactics work for you for doing your customer acquisition?
Yeah, good question. So there are, generally speaking, two ways to get new customers. One is, warm leads through your network or referrals. And another one is cold outreach. So these are people that we approach online and we've never had contact with before. Obviously, the cold outreach part is a bit more challenging because just like any other brand, we also need to establish trust around our brand. But one tactic that we use to do that is to send them personalized videos. This is a tactic that we use because it's not very often used yet. And we see that people really appreciate the effort and the personalization in such a video. So in a video like that, we, for example, tell them, what we've seen on their website, the good things, the things that we like, and also some things that they could improve and that we could help them with.
So yeah, that's a pretty interesting strategy. And I think that's a pretty solid sales process as well. I mean, before outreaching, you're actually researching your client and sending personalized video, which I mean, should have a very good conversion rate as well. So as I can understand from our conversation till now, that your ideal customers are in the health and fitness commerce. And normally, when they come to you for your service, what are the things that mostly matter to those people or those companies as well? Mm-hmm. I mean, let's say in terms of their problem solution, what problems they come up with that you guys normally solve?
So interestingly, there's still a very large number of businesses that do not use the power of digital at all, which is strange because from surveys, it's been concluded that more than 80% of prospects will check you or your company out online. They will check your website, and 50% of them will also rule out a firm before talking to them, and that could be based on their digital presence. So these companies that are, for example, they have a website, but they don't know how much it helps. They don't really want to invest in it because they just don't understand how many people are actually looking at it. That is something where we could start, for example, very easily by installing Google Analytics and showing them that actually, a lot of people are checking this. And if we start here and optimize this, then, you will get a much higher success rate with your prospects.
Makes sense. So mostly the companies that are a little bit in their early stage, so that you can sort of guide them on what to do to grow, right?
Yes, although funny enough, this is also really includes, people who have been in their field for more than 30 years, for example, because that is a different generation who is not very used to using digital either. So there's opportunities like in the full spectrum, from startups to very mature companies.
Mostly companies that's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah. So as I can understand, your team worked on site revamp, ACOs, marketing for your clients. So I know it changes from client to client, but let's say from an average point of view, to generate better leads, what should be the core focus in terms of marketing? I mean, do you go initially by building the trust, or do you want to target any sort of lead and increase the number of leads and then conversions, or maybe you target a very narrow or very small people group and get better leads from that one? So normally what strategy converts to more sales?
Yes. So it depends what we're talking about. Let's take the example of lead generation, right? So we've had clients where, we've looked at their Google Ads Manager, for example, and they were spending about $2 per click to get visitors to their website. However, they were targeting very, very broad, like on a lot of related search terms, for example. When we see something like that, we always would advise to go more narrow and more specific, and that might even lead to you spending more on your click. So, for example, $6 per click even, but that click has a much, much higher chance of converting to an actual sale. So you're only paying for the clicks that you really want, and overall results that way increase.
Makes sense. Completely makes sense. So in these days, I mean, beginning from last couple of years, we hear a lot about influencer marketing as well. So, and we keep hearing that people are not trusting ads these days a lot, but they're mostly trusting people. And that's why this influencer marketing is going to be more famous, and that's converting more leads and sales as well. So what's your thoughts on this in terms of, let's say, all the digital processes and influencer marketing as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. Influencer marketing has seen a huge boom over the last years, and something that Thryve is embracing as well. I think
Good to hear that.
A couple of years ago, there were, everybody had an opinion on influencers, and they were not maybe always taken so seriously, but that has really changed over the last couple of years, and they've really established themselves as, long-term players in the marketing field. Yes, it's definitely, there's a lot of opportunities for agencies to, connect with influencers and make sure that you have the right influencers to promote the products of your clients. Also here, you need to consider it of, how well the product fits with the influencer so that you really establish a relationship based on trust.
Makes sense. So, yeah, I think we'll end our podcast with a personal dream. So in my life, maybe after 5 or 10 years, I would love to build a fitness brand that focuses solely on the Southeast Asia and South Asian market. So if I want to do that, so what's your suggestion for me?
Okay, so let's start with asking you what kind of product or service you are considering to start with.
So mostly, let's say, wearings. So considering that the people in Southeast Asia and South Asia, they have a different physique than the people in, let's say, North America or Europe, first of all. And most of the fitness brands, the clothing brands you see, they are targeting or they're building their product considering the North American or the European market. But if you consider the people of Southeast Asia and South Asia, they are getting more and more into fitness as well, and they demand different sort of clothing in terms of their physicality, in terms of their smoothness as well. So I would love to build a fitness brand that mostly focuses on clothing for Southeast Asia and South Asia.
That's a really good idea. So you would be a fashion brand basically, and for type of products, it definitely really works to get a celebrity endorsement or influencer endorsement early on. In order to get that, you would first need to build a very nice brand image and concept. Otherwise, the influencer will also probably not want to work with you. So that would be your first step to create like your branding, your story, your shop, your Instagram pages, etc. Your full online presence, basically. Then you can find influencers basically that would want to work with you, and you can grow from there. I think that's a really good start.
Yeah. The story matters as well, right? I mean, we want to portray the story of Southeast Asia, South Asian people, and why they're different, and why maybe Adidas or Nike might not be the best fit for them.
Yes, exactly. So ideally, you would have to, niche it down also with the influencers that you are targeting. They were big in this region, and also stand for the same story that you're planning with your brand. So in this case, you might want to work with, let's say 5 influencers who all have very different body shapes, for example.
Yeah. Thank you, Astrid. That makes a lot of sense. So I think we have known a lot about your business, and we know a lot about how you can help your end clients as well. And best of luck for your endeavors for 2022. We wish you guys can grow like nothing. So thank you for joining our podcast. Can't wait to host you again, maybe in 2022.
Thank you, Shufo. Thank you so much for having me. All the best to you.